everyone!
Hello, Supreme Being.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas and good holidays.
Yes, lots of joy in the upcoming new year, and we hope it will be a fantastic year for everybody. First, we want to start with a workshop that we already did, and we just want to reveal a part of it, a small part of it, because on our last workshop we spoke about what is upcoming in the 2024 and how that is related with twin flames. It was quite of an amazing workshop, I think.
It was one of the best.
Yes.
The best.
Yes. You can still purchase it if you would like with a small discount. The link is down below. But I want to speak about the energy trends that are happening right now. We're experiencing a unique time because it's like full moon and it's just between Christmas and New Year. We're entering the new year. Technically we already did according to the old calendar, so we are already experiencing the new year,
and the sun is approaching. It's coming back to Europe and the United States and Canada and stuff like this, because I don't know if you live in other parts of the world. Obviously it's probably moving away from you in this respect.
So what can we expect from the 2024? It's actually going to be one of the most exciting years so far, and things are already starting at this time. There's huge openings of energy. The whole universe is helping us now to make our wishes come true. So the bonus we want to give you is now is the time to make your wish for the next year. What is your deepest desire? Of course, it has to be very well coordinated with the laws of attraction. So if you ask, for example, for too much, then what your energy is aligned to, there is almost no way it can come into your life. However, something similar will come and you might even get disappointed because it's not going to be exactly what you're thinking of. But we're not going to speak about this now. The most important part is now is the time to put your goals, your wishes out on the table to the entire universe. And it's super important how we form what exactly we want, like the sentence that we're gonna think or speak out loud or write, whatever way you wish to put it on. It is extremely important, the words you choose, how you position them next to each other, because things are happening very quickly and manifestation is happening very quickly. And we don't want to get disappointed, right? We want to get exactly what we have dreamt for. But really now is the time. You still have a few more days to think about it.
And in very strange, must be a coincidence, you also need, for many people who don't know this, you actually need a little bit of the ego to be able to do these manifestations. Because without the ego, you don't have desires. You don't want anything. You already have everything.
It's needed willpower, which is a part of the ego.
Yeah. And the coincidence is that's exactly what we're going to speak about today in this video. So how do we overcome our age difference? That's what we're going to speak. What Petya spoke before was about the workshop a little bit. And but we went so much in depth, and it's gonna benefit you so much if you watch it. So how do we overcome our age difference? Part 2, but this time is about the ego, because
watch part 1. It's very important so you can make the connection.
I'm gonna try to leave it somewhere up here or in the description. I'm pretty sure if you clicked on this video, you will see in the suggested videos on the right or something.
Yeah, probably.
Part 1. Yeah, YouTube is not stupid. They have brains.
It's an extremely intelligent AI.
Yes. So we spoke about the soul. We spoke about the physical. The ego, many people say, is the mind. It's not. The mind is just a supercomputer, but it needs an operator, and the operator has an it's like an entity lives there.
The architect.
The architect, yeah. Just like the architect who made this world, we are like mini architects of our own reality. And if we become powerful enough, we become like the architect that made this world. But it's very rare, maybe once in a billion. This can happen.
Let's just say how this is important about our age difference.
Yes.
Why it is important?
Well, because you see, if it's, for example, two people with the same age, they're gonna have similar, how you say, I just know in Portuguese, desafio, similar challenges for that time difference, for them, for let's say between 20 and 30-year-old or between 30 and 40-year-old. There's challenges that only happens between a certain age. Now, if a person is born 10 years later than they're supposed to twin flame, that's going to be two types of different challenges that nobody's going to understand each other. Yeah, the person who is older is going to understand the younger person, but it might not still help enough. Okay.
I still think that with twin flames, we always kept the older one kept a younger soul in themselves, and the younger kind of like grew up faster than their age, so that when we meet one day, there's literally not much of a difference in this respect. But we still have, for example, some things which when we start speaking about, we understand that the one doesn't know what the other is talking about. For example, the cartoons. I'm just giving a very simple example. Like the cartoons I used to watch, and not just the cartoons, the kids shows, they are quite different than yours, or you are quite into video games. I think it was starting to boom for your generation, and you are naturally into that, and me not really. So when you start explaining me, things from that world, I'm almost like lost. And when I start to tell you things from my world, from my childhood, it's the other way around. But it's like we are catching up on time. I am open and ready because of the spirit I have kept to learn how things were in your generation, and you feel mature enough to
Yes,
to come up to understand my generation.
I don't know if we mentioned this in part 1, but with the soul level, I feel, for example, maybe it's something I never share with my family, I feel that I'm older than my older brothers. I'm older than them in terms of, not in age they're older, but my soul is older than theirs. So I have more experience in life in general, not earthly specifically. Perhaps they are a little bit better somehow because, I don't know, they might be more materialistic, I don't know. But maybe this is what helped me to, I can come with a younger age and her with an older age, and we will still match because of my experience in the soul level.
Yeah.
For example, the ego is, so I'm going to describe a little bit about the ego part. It is the most difficult part between the physical and the soul, and then there's the ego. It's the most difficult part to take care of because people say the ego is in the mind. And it is, but let us explain. So each chakra represents a different part of the brain. So we have 7, or some people say we have 9 chakras, and in the brain we have all these sections, these parts of the brain. So imagine we have like 7 parts.
Each part corresponding to each chakra.
Yes. So each chakra represents a different part of the brain, and the identity of each part of the brain is the ego. So as we go along, there's no the ego is the soul. Sorry, the ego is the solar plexus, or the ego is the root chakra. No, the ego is all of them. That's it. You can feel the ego when you're meditating, whether you are in the first chakra or all the way at the seventh. It's always there. It's just in a different way.
Maybe that's why in the Choose Energy Healing, for example, the crown chakra has its own symbol. The other chakras are grouped into 3 and they have the same symbol. But the crown chakra has its own. And that's a star, so it's like it unites
everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Maybe the ego is still there, but like 1%, like very little, just for existence purposes, or to keep you from not cutting the spiritual cord between you and your body. I don't know. Could be this, but it is still there a little bit. Let's see if this part is a little bit more tricky. Let me see if I can put it in words. So if the brain is the ego, when we are growing up, so the brain, as it's still growing, it is still flexible because we are taking up territory. We are still expanding. And if we can expand, we can, what is the opposite of like expansion?
Shrink.
Yeah, we can shrink. So we are still flexible, okay? We still are learning as a kid what we should touch, what we should not, what we should see, what we shouldn't. And as soon as it stops growing, the brain, so does the flexibility. The flexibility just stops. If we stop growing, then we stop to be flexible, and then the ego also stops to become flexible as well. And what is the problem here? The problem is that the brain picks patterns as we grow up and refuses to let them go as we call them our own. And plus, when we reach maturity, that's it. We don't want to let go what we took over, because if we do like entirely everything, it's like you are being born again. It's like you don't know what you have been doing all this time. You understand? We have 2 identities. We have the soul and we have the ego. If you let go the ego completely, it's like all your friends you made so far, for example, they don't matter.
Technically, the brain builds a network of a certain behavior. So the more we repeat certain behavior, the more we create a habit, and this becomes a part of the network. It's like of different signals between the neurons, and then if we want to change something, it's very difficult to rewire this network. It has to do with the nervous system.
Yep.
All this.
I think they're together as well, because when a person is not okay in the nerves, the ego cannot express itself properly. It already is different. The ego, once you understand how it works, we can finally start to think of solutions. And the first solution they try to give as the new spirituality is to crush the ego, stop using the ego, and all this stuff. It's not good, because
to try to control it.
Yeah, to try to control it.
It doesn't work, because when we try to control it, actually we are giving it more power.
Yes.
It's the other way around.
Plus, ego is control by itself. So you're trying to control the control. It's not possible. The control can only control you, and that's it. So in order to control the control is to stop controlling, right?
If you have watched, what was the name of the cartoon of Naruto? Naruto Shippuden.
The animation?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I think nobody's watched, but if someone watched, that's nice.
Naruto has the fox inside of him, and when he was trying to control the fox, it was getting worse, and the fox almost overtook him.
Yes.
And at one point, it almost won over, and if this would happen, he would disappear, so his identity would be gone. So at the end, he realized that he needs to become friends with the fox.
Yes.
And when he became friends with the fox, he finally started to get his power back, and he became super powerful.
Yeah, that was amazing to watch. And that's exactly what we should do. We have to be friends with the ego, not enemies. That's what they're teaching in the new spirituality. And I wrote some solutions which are tiny, just 2 words. And if we don't explain properly what the ego is, you will never understand what the solution is about and how to even implement. The solution is forgiveness. And also I wrote wealth. And because this was a long time ago, I have to understand why. Because
you have to get your own codes.
The wealthier you become, if you become like extreme wealthy, the ego takes over. If you are in extreme poverty, the ego takes over as well because it wants to survive. The other one wants to control if you're too rich. So if you feel yourself like overwhelmingly rich, or you have too many possessions and you feel a little bit bad or something, then give some away to people who need. I don't know. I'm sure you can find a way. Family members, friends.
There's so many ways we can help the world. And it's our dream as well to we have our own little vision and plan of how we want to help the world, for example.
I don't want us to keep our future fortune. Now we don't have this amazing fortune, but if we as we reach there, and I don't think it's going to be true too, but it doesn't matter. It will come from somewhere, and because this channel is about spirituality, you know what we're talking about. The energy is energy, and the energy is money, and money is energy, and both are the same. So if you take care of energy very well, the energy takes care of you. Money is no different. You take care of money very well, money will take care of you. But because of the word, it makes no sense. You switch it and it immediately makes sense.
Actually, in the upcoming year, there's a few crucial times that will affect everybody until the rest of their lives from now on. And this what you're saying, I already feel that for us, things already started to change and we already grabbed some opportunities. So we are already changing our lives in a way towards achieving some of our goals, and we're moving forward. But I know, and this is what we speak in that workshop as well, there will be some even more crucial even specific dates and points next year, which will be amazing.
Thank you so much for everything. I hope you understood. Rewatch the video if you have to. Go watch part 1. Don't forget.
If you feel to.
If you don't, just
switch it off.
Yes. We love you so much.
Thank you. Love.
In the description we have everything. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.